This isn't just another Eagles game. This is a showdown of pride, payback, and survival. Philadelphia walks into Tampa with scars from the past, but this time, the Birds are armed, dangerous, and ready to prove they can finally conquer the one team that's haunted them, Baker Mayfield's Buccaneers. Two undefeated teams. One stormy battlefield. And both sides know only one will leave with their record intact. For the last 3 seasons, Baker and the Buccaneers have been the Eagles' nightmare. Every time these two collide, Tampa seems to walk away smiling while Philly limps home in frustration. But this year feels different. The story has flipped. The Eagles arrive in Tampa not as the hunted, but as the hunters. The build-up is electric. The weather, the crowd, the stakes, everything points to a war under the lights. And the tension is only higher with the injury reports finally locked in. On paper, both squads are healthier than expected, but the details tell a bigger story. Tampa Bay just announced that Chris Godwin, Tristan Wirfs, and yes, even Baker Mayfield are all likely to suit up. For the Bucs, that's survival. For the Eagles, it means facing a full-strength opponent in enemy territory. No excuses. No shortcuts. Philadelphia's side of the story is even more fascinating. For the first time in a long time, they're walking into this matchup mostly healthy. Lane Johnson is back. Jod Campbell is cleared. The trenches are loaded, the weapons are ready, and the playbook is wide open. But there's one crack in the armor, the cornerback room. Adoree Jackson is officially out. That means rookie Kelee Ringo is stepping into the spotlight for his first career start. Think about it. Under the lights, against an undefeated opponent, in a game that could shape the entire NFC race, Ringo is about to be thrown straight into the fire. With Mike Evans sidelined, he won't face the league's most dangerous deep threat, but Tampa's receivers are still no joke. This is the kind of test that either makes or breaks a young defensive back's career. Still, compared to last season, Philadelphia looks like a team reborn. No longer limping in without A.J. Brown, without Devonta Smith, without Lane Johnson. No longer losing stars mid-game. This time, the Birds come in healthy, stacked, and with something to prove. So here we are. Two undefeated teams. A rivalry of grit versus grit. The Buccaneers are healthy, hungry, and still Tampa tough. But the Eagles, this year, feel like a different beast. And when the whistle blows on Sunday, we'll find out one thing: are the Eagles finally ready to take the fight straight to Baker Mayfield's Bucs, or will history repeat itself one more time? Last year when Philly limped into Tampa, they were a shell of themselves. No Jalen Carter, no Cam Jurgens, banged up everywhere you looked. That wasn't the real Eagles. This year? They're walking into Raymond James at nearly full strength, and that changes everything. But the weather won't let anyone forget where this game is being played. Tampa isn't just hot, it's brutal. We're talking 97 degrees with storms rolling in, lightning cracking, winds ripping across the field. Heat plus rain, the kind of Florida chaos that can break even the toughest teams. Philly knows it. They've been practicing in rain, catching soaked footballs, pushing their bodies in the sauna to simulate the suffocating humidity. Jordan Davis joked about 15 guys crammed in one sauna this week, just trying to sweat out Tampa before Tampa sweats them out. But truth be told, this game won't come down to the heat. The real storm is going to be Todd Bowles' blitzes. Everyone knows what's coming. Saquon Barkley has been bottled up all year, and defensive coordinators are pinning their ears back. Dallas, Kansas City, the Rams, they all came after Philly early, and Tampa will be no different. Bowles has haunted Jalen Hurts before. In 5 meetings, he's blitzed Hurts on nearly 60% of his dropbacks, almost double what Hurts sees against anyone else. That's insane. If the Eagles don't have the hot reads ready, if the O-line misses even a single assignment, Bowles will send the house and blow up drives before they even start. So forget the sauna talk. Forget the rain. The question in this game is simple: Can Hurts and Barkley finally punish those blitzes, or will Bowles once again turn the Eagles' strength into their weakness? This is where the game will be won. Here's the truth: Jalen Hurts has gotten a lot better at beating the blitz. His pre-snap recognition, his poise, the way he finds quick answers, it's all night and day compared to where he was 2 years ago. The problem? Against Tampa Bay, none of that has ever seemed to matter. This defense has owned him. Twice in their last 3 meetings, Hurts didn't even throw for 160 yards. He's been picked off 3 times, sacked 9 times, and left frustrated in ways we're not used to seeing. Todd Bowles has been his shadow, the one coordinator who always seems to find his weakness. But things feel different now. The Eagles' offense is starting to find rhythm, and Hurts isn't just surviving blitzes, he's punishing them. That throw to Devonta Smith against Kansas City, the touchdown versus the Rams, those weren't just completions. They were statements. Every time Hurts beats the blitz, defenses hesitate just a little more. And that hesitation could open the door for Saquon Barkley. If Philly can finally slow down Bowles' chaos up front, Barkley will see running lanes he hasn't had all season. Jordan Mailata admitted the O-line has struggled, but he promised the group has simplified their game plan this week. Less confusion, more execution, more trust in each other. And don't forget, Lane Johnson is back. The last time Hurts faced Tampa without him, the Bucs teed off and wrecked the game. With Lane in the lineup, the entire line plays with swagger. That could be the difference between another nightmare or a breakthrough. Now, here's the fascinating wrinkle: just last week, the Bucs' vaunted defense gave up chunk plays to Tyrod Taylor, a backup quarterback. He didn't just throw with efficiency, he ran for nearly 50 yards and extended drives with his legs. If Tyrod can expose them, imagine what Jalen Hurts, one of the most dangerous dual threats in football, could do with designed runs built to punish blitzes. Still, the shadow of Todd Bowles looms large. He's been torturing the Eagles since 2021. Sirianni himself admitted it: 1 win in 5 tries against Tampa. The numbers don't lie. Until Philly proves otherwise, the Bucs have the edge. But this is where legacies turn. This is where quarterbacks grow up. Jalen Hurts has the weapons, the protection, and the experience he's never had before. The only question is, will this finally be the year he slays Bowles' defense, or will Tampa once again be his wall? For the Eagles, this matchup isn't just about X's and O's, it's about rewriting history. Tampa Bay has been a recurring villain in this story, a team that's handed Philly painful lessons over the past few years. And when you face the same opponent again and again, the scars from those battles never really fade. The film room this week wasn't just about the Bucs' latest plays, it was about the ghosts of games past. What worked? What failed? What can't happen again? The biggest change Philly must make? Get the ball to A.J. Brown. Plain and simple. When Hurts locks in on number 11, this offense transforms. It's not just about yards, it's about energy. You can feel it. Against Tampa, A.J. has barely been a factor, missing key games with injuries. But the one time he did play, the Eagles won, and he torched their secondary. If Philly wants to take control early, feeding A.J. is non-negotiable. And while we're talking about receivers, circle this duel in red ink: Quinyon Mitchell vs Emeka Egbuka. With Mike Evans sidelined, Egbuka becomes Tampa's go-to threat, but he'll have to line up against one of the nastiest young corners in football. Mitchell has already shut down some of the league's top targets this year, and if he locks up Egbuka, the Bucs' offense suddenly looks a whole lot thinner. Here's the thing, though: are the Bucs actually as dangerous as their record suggests? Yes, they're 3-0. Yes, Baker Mayfield looks reborn. But peel back the curtain. Their wins have been razor-thin: an overtime escape against Atlanta, a 1-point squeaker over Houston, and then a sloppy grinded-out win against the Jets. Impressive? Maybe. Convincing? Not so much. That's why the formula for Philadelphia is simple but brutal: build an early lead, shut down the run, and put the ball in Baker's hands. Force him to be the hero. Because when he's pressured, when the run game disappears, Baker doesn't look like magic anymore, he looks like Baker. But here's the danger zone: Bucky Irving. The rookie has been electric, a spark Tampa hasn't had in years. Last week, the Eagles' defense made Kyren Williams look like a superstar, giving up nearly 8 yards a carry at one point. Irving is more explosive, more dangerous, and if Philly doesn't bottle him up, the Bucs can keep this game close all the way into the fourth quarter. The Eagles' secondary held strong last week against the Rams, minus a few miracle plays from Davante Adams. The pass defense is fine. It's the run defense that must tighten, or else Tampa's offense will find rhythm. Stop Irving, make Baker carry the weight, and then let the pass rush hunt. That's the script to flip this rivalry. Tampa Bay is good, nobody denies that. But on paper? The Eagles are better. Stronger roster. Healthier weapons. More experienced quarterback. This is the moment for Philadelphia to prove it, to put Tampa's so-called magic to rest and take back control of a series that's haunted them for far too long. That if there's one thing that has Eagles fans restless this week, it isn't the weather, it isn't the injuries, it's the offense. More specifically, it's the man calling the plays. Kevin Patullo stood at the podium earlier this week, and instead of owning up to the sluggish, predictable game plan we saw against the Rams, he brushed it off. No accountability. No urgency. Just word salad. And that's the problem. Philly's offense has too much talent to be this hesitant, this conservative. A.J. Brown himself said it: we can't keep playing like this. When your star receiver and your franchise quarterback hint that the scheme is holding them back, you better believe the fan base is listening. But when asked about it, Patullo downplayed everything. He insisted the offense wasn't too conservative, even though anyone who watched last Sunday saw 4 straight 3-and-outs, scripted runs up the middle, and barely any shots downfield. Here's the truth: the Eagles survived against the Rams not because of brilliant play calling, but because Jalen Hurts bailed them out in the second half, because the special teams blocked kicks, because Matthew Stafford missed throws. That's not a winning formula in Tampa. And this is where the storm clouds gather. Todd Bowles is not like other defensive coordinators. He's built his reputation on blitzing quarterbacks into the ground, and Hurts has felt that heat more than once. Bowles knows how to take Philadelphia out of rhythm, and if this offense comes out flat again, it won't take long for the panic to set in. 1 sack. 1 turnover. 1 early deficit. Suddenly, the whispers about being too conservative turn into roars from the fan base. That's why Sunday isn't just about X's and O's, it's about mentality. The Eagles have to dictate terms, not react to them. They can't wait until the second half to get aggressive. They have to feed A.J. Brown early. They have to let Hurts test the middle of the field. They have to trust Saquon Barkley to punish blitzes with explosive runs. Because here's the reality: if Philly plays the first half in Tampa the same way they played the first half in LA, they won't get a second chance. Not against Bowles. Not against a Bucs team that thrives on mistakes. This game will be a referendum, on Hurts, on the play calling, and on whether this Eagles offense can finally rise to meet the level of its talent. No more excuses. No more word salad. It's time to prove it on the field. At some point, words stop mattering. Press conferences, excuses, and empty promises can only go so far. What really counts is what happens on the field. And for the Eagles, that moment of truth is now. The players have already spoken. A.J. Brown came out and said it directly. Jalen Hurts backed it up. They know this offense has too much talent to be playing safe, predictable football. They're asking for aggression. They're asking to unleash the weapons around them. They're asking to let this team play to its identity: fast, physical, explosive. And let's not forget, the last time the Eagles saw the Buccaneers in a game that truly mattered, one player stood out above the chaos: Saquon Barkley. He was the lone bright spot in an ugly loss, grinding out tough yards, even punching in a touchdown when nothing else was working. The Bucs might have one of the best run defenses in football, but Saquon's patience is running out. That 3.3 yards per carry we've seen early this year? It won't last forever. He's too good, too powerful, too motivated. At some point, he's going to break free. The only question is whether this is the game where he finally erupts. The Eagles need that spark. They need Barkley to be more than just steady, they need him to tilt the field. Because Tampa Bay's defense is not forgiving. Todd Bowles has built a unit that thrives on suffocating offenses, daring quarterbacks to make mistakes under pressure. If the Eagles want to prove they're more than just good on paper, it starts with owning the line of scrimmage, setting the tone with Saquon, and forcing the Bucs to respect the run. This is what separates great teams from pretenders. Do you let the other team dictate the pace, or do you step up and take control? The locker room leaders have made their stance clear: no more excuses, no more playing it safe. Now, it's about showing it to the world. Because if the Eagles don't deliver this Sunday, we won't just be looking at another frustrating half of football, we'll be staring at the same ghosts that haunted this team last season. And this fan base has waited too long, cared too deeply, and believed too hard to watch that same story repeat.